Welcome back to Life the Wild Ride. Trace and I are out here. We spent a couple days ago gluing this up, and this is our countertop. It's nothing sanded yet, still rough. I just roughed the end, cut the end off. But what we're going to do is we're going to carry it out to the bus, set it in place, and you can see there's obviously some space and stuff here because I was using scraps, but we positioned all of this in where the sink will be, so it's going to be cut out anyway. So what we're going to do is bring it out to the bus, put it in place, and really get a more accurate measurement as to exactly where the sink's going to set. We just got some rough lines in here because as we glued it, these moved around. But we knew that. I gave myself a couple inch leeway as far as where I was putting these seams. These weren't long enough, this darker wood here, so we left the gap here because it's going to be cut out anyway. So we tried to get creative, but we still have another whole stack of this wood here, which will be the countertop for the other side. So I'm going to put the camera down, shut it off, because Trace and I are going to carry this out to the bus, and then we'll show you kind of what it looks like. And incidentally, there will be some pieces added on here that will create a bump out, and we'll talk about that later when we add them on. All right, let's get this thing out to the bus, right, Trace?
Sure.
Tracy's doing most of the work. I'm only using one hand. It's like in video. There's the bus. That's where we're headed. Let's get this thing over there. Oh, Mom's outside. And Mark. All right, well, I'm going to shut this off because it's getting heavy on my one hand. Oh, we screwed up too. I gotta go in first.
I thought so. I was wondering why you were pushing me this direction.
Alright, alright. I gotta put the camera down, guys. This is getting a little complicated. Alright, so well, we have it sitting here. Obviously I gotta sand this thing first. So that will be coming up. I'm not sure if I'll video that because I have a friend's wood shop that he's going to let me use this giant sander just to run this thing right through one whole piece, so it's going to save me a ton of work. But you probably have not seen that we've done some face work on the front of the cabinets here, and we actually really haven't done anything on the bus in a couple weeks because we've just been so busy. But we did manage to get this put together a couple weeks ago. There's going to be shelving going in here, so you won't see the tank. And you can probably see I have the straps on the tank strapped down in a couple different spots, different areas. That's that. So, but that's some cabinet work we did. And because we gotta, so this is rough on the end here. We gotta cut it off flush here. And then I have wood, same type of wood as this, only thinner, thin pieces. It will be our backsplash going across there as well, and we're going to insulate the windows all the way up to here where the counter is, and then there'll be a board across the top. There'll be like a little place we could set stuff if we wanted to, and of course the outlet's going to go right there. Hopefully there's still going to be enough room for that, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So what we're going to look at now is really figure exactly where the sink's going to set, mark it out on here, and that's what we got to cut out before we obviously install this thing. And I'll probably cut it out before we sand it too, because they're probably not going to matter much on his great big giant sander. So if he lets me, I will show this thing going through the sander, but we'll see. Alright, so we took the time to remeasure everything, probably for a 6th time. And I actually circled my new marks, so I knew which ones were the latest marks after this thing is all glued together. So now we're going to go ahead and try to cut out the rough opening for the sink. Alright, so we got it back on the bus here. We've carried it back 2 or 3 times. We just cut a rough opening for the sink. Tracy's going to go ahead and place that in, and hopefully it fits okay. And it does, so that is great. So we went back and forth about an undermount sink, top mount sink, and we just decided to go with a top mount. Biggest thing is we want to put a cutting board in there, recessed down. But the more we thought about it, we know we're not going to cover the sink up because every time we want to use it, we don't have to pull off a cutting board and all that. Again, it's our house. You know, in an RV, you know, that are weekend things, you need all the space you can, so use that space for cutting. But look at this countertop we got. This thing is 8 feet long. So it's not an issue for countertop space. So we can just have a cutting board, even a half a cutting board, possibly, but still have easy access to the sink. So anyway, for now, we're not going to bother with that. We'll just have a cutting board off the side. I'll make one myself. And that's what we got. So you can kind of see the stripes now we were talking about in an earlier video possibly. So this is tiger maple here. And that's one piece that runs the whole length. And then we have two tiger maples. And I don't know if this is Babinga or rosewood or something like that. I have to ask my friend Bob to know for sure. But it's a hard, heavy wood. As well as the tiger maple. But we put it on each side of that to really bring that out. So once this is all sanded down, it should look pretty sharp looking. And it gives a little bit of accent to it. And again, I'm making this all out of scraps, stuff that we have laying around or that we've got, from Bob, from his leftovers from his fine cabinet making, not my backyard mechanic cabinet making. Then we have enough wood gathered, except for maybe the tiger maple. We've got to dig that up, and this piece here, to do the same thing on this side of the bus as well. But for the moment, this is looking pretty good.